Good evening and welcome to July 15th, 2024 Common Council, City Connersville. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Williams Jr.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor?
Thank you. Tonight we want to remember the Lysing family. I think Dean Lysing's husband Frank passed, and so we want to remember them in our prayers as well. So let's pray. Loving and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for your infinite source of peace, love, and wisdom. We just lift up the Lysing family tonight, and we know that it's been said that you don't see your children as dying, but you see them as coming home. So we just pray that Frank has a homecoming that is suitable and honorable and brings glory to you as well. Thank you for the blessing of life. And we thank you, Father, for in spite of the various challenges that we are facing in our society today, that we cling to your words that say, I'll never leave you or forsake you. As we begin this meeting, I pray for your spiritual guidance and direction for this council. Help them to lead and govern with integrity and strength to do what is right for the benefit of everyone. Teach us always to perform our job faithfully and diligently so that we will always be a blessing and a source of inspiration to the people who need our services. I ask you, Father, to bless these present tonight as they work together for the common cause. We will not fail to give you praise in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone this evening, and we will begin with roll call.
Councilman Williams Jr.
Present.
Councilwoman Phillips. Present. Councilman Robb.
Present.
Councilman Gray.
Present.
Councilman Collins.
Present.
Councilwoman McQueen. Present. Councilwoman Barrett.
Present.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the July 1st, 2024 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those? If there's no corrections, I'll take a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. Let's see, got Greg on here, Mike's on here. This is the public hearing request for proposals qualifications. Mike, you want to speak on this, or Greg, whichever one?
I can get it started, Mike, if you'd like, and then...
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, thanks, Mayor, and thanks, Council, for giving us time to speak with you this evening. The reason I'll start is because there's actually two portions to this approval tonight, and Mike will be able to explain one of these portions better than me, but I'll start with just letting you know information about both of them. So this was an RFP that had been put out by the city quite some time ago to go through a scoping period and look at various park projects, which we've been doing now for quite some time. And so the result of that is the two projects that are before you today, which one is an approximate $550,000 sewer line, and then the other portion of it is an $891,200 skate park plus various other amenities. The reason that budget is so exact, which Mike can explain here in a minute, is that it's being utilized as a match for another grant that you all have, and so that amount has been dictated by the match needed for that grant. Mike, if it's okay with you, I'll pass it over to you, so maybe you could just explain that part of it to the council.
Yeah, and it
Sure,
is.
Council. Last year, we received a grant of $1 million through the health OKRA process. And part of that grant was we had to commit $1 million of local funds to projects that were in our strategic investment plan. Since then, we've implemented, or at least signed contracts, 3 contracts totaling $108,800. And OKRA considers that eligible match towards your $1 million. So they want to see contracts signed for the remainder, $891,200 to get to that full $1 million match we committed. Once we get to that match, later this month, we've got the Office Park project bidding out, and then we're gonna gain access to that $1 million Okra funding for that project. So that's really what we're discussing tonight is the $891,200 towards Roberts Park improvements.
One correction, it's not sewer, it's the water well at the park. It's where our well fields are. Okay, does anyone have any questions before I open the public hearing for these guys? Okay, I will close this. I will open the public hearings. Anyone from the public have anything to say on these projects? Mr. Sheehan, you're more than welcome if you want. You're involved in this.
I'll remain silent today.
Okay, I will close the public hearing for comments from council before we ask to approve this. I want to thank Brian Sheehan's here, by the way, with HWC. He's been very instrumental in helping getting these projects up and rolling. We appreciate all your help. We had to be very creative and very creative on the funding. The rules are constantly changing on us, and it's been interesting to say the least. I'm going to stop there before I say too much, but yeah, it's been very interesting, and I appreciate the help that Brian and HWC has brought to the table, because we've had to constantly, this has changed I don't know how many times. And Mike, your help, and Greg as well. Everyone's just kind of, it's a team effort. So, you don't have any questions for anyone on the team while they're here? Okay, so Greg, I want to make sure I get the wording correct. You just need approval to move forward with the 2 projects. Is that correct?
Yes, I think if I were making a motion, the way I would say it would be that you are accepting the mayor's recommendation to move forward with these 2 projects, and that you are approving the project subject to your attorney's review of the BOT agreements.
Okay. Anybody like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg and Mike. I appreciate all your help.
All right, thank you, council.
Thanks very much.
Move on down to reimbursement resolutions 2024-41 through 43. Rosemary.
Resolution 2024-41 is a resolution to reimburse $200 into police telephone. Resolution 2024-42 is a resolution to reimburse $100 into DOT vehicle repair. Resolution 2024-43 is a resolution to reimburse $138,344.74 into council solar energy.
Any questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve resolutions 2024-41 through 43.
Motion.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to department reports. Director Steele.
I wanted to let everyone know that we did have a full-time maintenance position leave the Parks Department, and so this morning at the Board of Works, they approved for a transfer of Mitchell Jordan from the Street Department to my department, and so he will be starting tomorrow, so I wanted to let everyone know that. Just a few projects that we've been doing at the park. We're trying to get ready for the fair, and the administration building needed some updating, and so we painted the inside of the building, and we refinished the floors as well, and so it looks really nice in there, and it'll be ready for the fair board and their team to move in. July is National Parks and Recreation Professionals Month, and we will be celebrating that tomorrow with our staff. We'll be having a pool party. Kona Ice is coming to provide everyone with some Kona Ice, and we're having pizza from Pizza King and lots of prizes to give away. So everything's been donated, so we're very thankful and gracious for all of the donations and sponsors in the community. Summer Discovery, the last day is July 26th. That would be next Friday. They've had a wonderful summer. I don't know if you've been following along on our Facebook page, but they have been busy all summer long. Scott and Tessa and Bailey, they are doing a fabulous job as managers, and they are keeping those kids very busy, and they're learning all summer long. And so it's a fabulous program that we are offering, and it'll be sad for it to come to an end, but we will be having, excuse me, a celebration next Friday for them. We are starting a co-ed adult softball league, and that will start July 20th. We had a bunch of people come to us and ask us if we would get that started again. And so we've had plenty of teams sign up that will allow us to have a league this summer. And then fall registrations for soccer is currently open, and they'll be open until July 31st. We are starting to take names of individuals or businesses excuse me, that would like to help us illuminate the park this December. So if you'd like to set up light displays, please contact us. The fair is July 27th through August 3rd, and then the Renaissance Fair is October 10th. Does anybody have any questions?
Just to remind people, we did have a few.
Sorry.
We did have a lot of people comment last year after our Christmas light display. They wanted to be part of that. So if you really want to participate in that, get in early so they can get the map made and get the power, everything figured out. It's a great event, and we just want to see that park flooded in lights this year. So.
Yes, we would love that. Thank you.
Chief Jones.
Good evening. Monthly report for the Connersville Fire Department for June. Start out with the overtime. Excuse me. The overtime did go down a little bit. I got one man back. I still have the newest hire that's being trained. So when he's finally trained, then we can count him as in our manpower. But the total overtime for June was $8,224.17. The manpower shortage portion of that was $7,562.96. The scheduled overtime was $333.45, and we did have to call in a few guys for a fire. The overtime for that was $327.76. Fuel usage for the month, we used 361 gallons of fuel for a total cost of $1,297.47. Our incidents were up just a little bit. We had a total of 222 incidents. 36 of those were fire-related incidents, 175 EMS-related. We had 11 auto accidents. We had 89 total instructed training hours for the month. 77 hours were fire-related training, and 12 were EMS-related training. Had a total of 11 inspections, fire inspections for the month, and 2.5 hours of fire investigations. We did receive, if anybody's seen some Facebook posts, the new tools that the council allowed me to purchase. We did receive both sets of those. All the shifts trained on them. They're on the trucks. They love them. I think they're going to work very well, and they're going to improve the process tremendously. So we're excited to have those. I'm sure you'll see some more posts, possibly videos of them using those tools in the future. We also did get our lockers, our gear lockers. We started installing those also. Not quite finished with those, but maybe next meeting I'll have some pictures to post some before and after pictures. Before, the guys at Station 1, they basically had about a 2 foot by 2 foot cubicle. I think I told you that before, and that's for 2 sets of gear, helmet, your SCBA mask and everything else you carry, to cram in there. And it's not good for the gear, and it's not, you don't want to put anything away wet, obviously, anyway. So the gear lockers are really nice, just a really nice addition. It's one of those things that we've been probably waiting on for decades, so I appreciate, council letting us purchase those. That's all I have. Any questions?
If you get a chance to see the tools, I'd go I'd watch them. I was fascinated with them.
Yeah, the mayor went down one day when they were training.
It's unbelievable.
And the next, if anyone would like to, I can send out an invitation the next time we do some training with those who'd like to come down.
They had that roof flipped off and the dash pulled forward in no time. It'll make extrication so much quicker.
The biggest benefit, like I said, is you can grab every single tool and use them all at once instead of being limited to 2 tools. So, you know, we basically had 6 tools running on one car, and, you know, the doors are off, the roof's off like in no time.
It was no time.
Yeah, so
And
it's,
they said it was slow because they're still trying to figure them out. So once they get them figured out, they'll be in faster.
well, actually, yeah, we trained with them so hard that we already broke one of the teeth on the cutters, and he came down the very next day and picked it up and took it, had it fixed and brought it right back, so. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Chief Bolos.
Good evening. All right, starting with the month of June's report. Our overtime is staying steady. It is due to, we're still 2 down. It's vacation season, personal days being used through the summer to help with vacations, and overtime is still more than I'd like it to be. Our gallons of fuel for June was a little over 1,800 gallons of fuel. Anybody have any questions on those totals? All right, as far as incidents go, we're up quite a bit on our accidents. We had 70 accidents last month compared to May. We had 41 in May. Our traffic stops, we made 168 traffic stops. We had 31 ambulance and medical assist calls. For the month of June, we had 1,423 calls. Any questions on our calls? All right, as far as the department goes, we had 130 hours of training. K9 had 16 hours. They had 6 drug indications. They recovered 8 grams of marijuana, 61 grams of heroin fentanyl, 15 grams of meth, and 15 grams of cocaine. Those were from dog indications. Our detectives had 7 cases. They closed 5 in the criminal, and we have 7 ICAC cases still open. As far as drugs taken in, last month we had 241 grams of marijuana, 66 grams of heroin fentanyl, 35 grams of meth, 15 grams of cocaine, 840 various pills, 35 needle pickups, 28 items of paraphernalia, and 1 weapon was seized. Last month, we get several requests to attend several events a month, and we try to attend as many as we can, as many as the manpower level would allow. Last month, we had 4 events. 3 of them were touch a truck, and 1 was a 4-H event. So, any questions? That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Wulff.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ordinance Office Report for June 2024. Turned out to be a very, very busy month with 145 ordinance violations addressed, 37 relating to grass and weeds, 32 accumulation of trash and rubbish, 22 for expired plates, abandoned vehicles, and demolition derby cars, 20 relating to indoor furniture being left outside in the yards and on the curbs, 7 dangerous buildings were addressed, 6 trees and shrubs in the public right-of-way, 4 yard exceptions, mainly relating to mobile homes, trailers, boats, too many of those particular items being parked in the inappropriate places. 4 harbors of rats, snakes, mice, and vermin, 2 trees obstructing visibility, 2 machinery not connected with the operation of a home, 2 improper zoning and land usage issues, 2 public information requests, 1 home-based business address, 1 animal restraint required, 1 excessive noise, 1 for parking position, and 1 transient merchant. The transient merchant actually went through the entire process, did the background check, paid his fees, and was approved for the 3-day time frame and set up and operated his business without issue. The first impressions of areas that I wanted to get to last month, I was only able to get to Western Avenue and get that completed with all the others that came in. So I had to push back State Road 44 into this month. In addition to the first impressions tour this month, and responding to complaints and following up on all prior notices that have been sent out to make sure that they're in compliance, I'm going to be focusing some more time on dilapidated buildings and homes in town that are abandoned, falling in, caving in, working with city attorneys and some other cities to find out what they're doing to get them either back into shape or completely abated to where they're no longer a blight on the community. Any questions?
Good job.
Very good job. That, the dilapidated building has probably been our biggest struggle from day one. There's a lot of confusion throughout the state on it, not just here, but throughout the entire state. We, Jeff, how many on? We've sat through several meetings on how to deal with it, and to be honest, no one's ever got a good answer. It's been very difficult, so I'd say good job on that, keep pushing on that, and we'll find some answers on that. Something else I want people to understand is, a lot of times people think, well, their building's dilapidated, just give them a fine and they'll fix it. But it doesn't work that way. We do issue them fines, they ignore them. So it's a long process, not just on buildings, but on several things. Some people are like, oh, we didn't understand that, and they fix it. But there's a lot of it that takes a lot of process. You gotta find the owner, you gotta send them certified mail, you gotta post it. I mean, it's a long process, so it can be very trying on your patience, but you've done a very good job, and thank you very much.
There was a lot of government monies available in the past. Those kind of dried up. Now they're kind of, there's some rumors that they're kind of coming back, but that's why there was a lot of movement in some cities years ago, and then there's not been movement, and that's why. I mean, the money's not there. Rushville did a good job of blight and things like that. That wasn't the city just spending money on that. They were getting government funds to do that.
Yeah, we had blight.
We did it too.
We did it.
Yeah, we had it.
When I was on council, even before I was on council, I think they did blight removal.
We've done
But a
several.
lot of that money dried up, and now it's starting to come back.
Yeah, we did several rounds of that.
But you're getting on top of it, and I appreciate it. You're working your tail off. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilson.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
Good. So a couple different things going on. We've got some approvals to go ahead and get a couple of lift stations that are outdated and failing, get them new pumps, new panels. In that process, we got some training opportunities I spoke of earlier. And through that training, we're requesting some permission to go ahead and have like Luke Hobbs, who was with the city for over 20 years, to kind of help the younger guys train with these lift stations, get the history of them. I've said earlier, not so much the technical side, but the history of these stations, and kind of what happens to them, and if something goes down, to give his opinions to these guys to help the younger, eager crew that we have now get these corrected. So just working on that through the service building. For the water plant, we pumped 69 million gallons last month. We've got some SCADA systems in the FI that's been upgraded to help, and that should kind of mitigate some of the issues over there. Moving on to the wastewater treatment plant. I'm sure all of you guys are aware of the Headworks project that's been going on. It's a big project. Should help us out a lot with our capacity in rain events and things of that nature. They've been doing some, the crews are doing the pumps and all that, are helping the employees train with all the new equipment that we do have there. There's not a whole lot of, I guess, certainty yet on when we're gonna fire up the new plant, but we're hoping for sometime July, just towards the end of this month or early August, to go live with that operation. The street department, with the summer help, we've really kind of had the opportunity to tackle some other work that we haven't had time to get done without having summer help ramped up. So city cemetery, I think, looks really good. Downtown's starting to look really good, and they're doing a great job. We tried to keep trees fall over the weekend. Crews got out, got the stuff cut up out of everybody's way for their morning commutes. So kudos to those guys. They've got the trestles getting cleaned up, spraying weeds, making it look nice, presentable. Moving on to the transfer station, not much to report on there. They have 353 tons from the Connersville Street and Sanitation. Public disposal was 544 tons. We had total waste since the landfill was 897 tons, and we recycled about 22 tons. Anybody have any questions for any of these departments?
Right out there?
He's not, I believe he left.
That chicken.
Yeah.
Get up on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to get him. I saw him answer his phone. Did somebody left Clint?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to embarrass him, and I think he knew I was going to do that.
Yes, probably.
Probably why you did that, yeah.
Well, that being said, a couple of things. I know we've had very good part-time help this year, not street department, the parks department. I want to appreciate council for allowing us to get the wages up. That helped a lot. But we've been able to get a lot more done because we've had good part-time help, and just thank you everyone for that. I know Brad stepped out on purpose, but I just wanted to, if you saw the Board of Works today, he submitted his retirement today, and Jeremy's going to become the new director as soon as he's done, which is why he's standing up here. Going to be a different role for him. I'm excited to have him on. He's very smart, very capable. He's got some experience, and what I was really looking for, I didn't think we'd be able to find him. I was looking for someone with some longevity in them to run that department. If you know anything about utilities, it is very intricate, and I imagine you've already learned more about utilities in the last few months than you have in a long time.
Started there in 2014, so left a little bit and they came back. So.
I have a background in it, and it's mind-blowing to me. So my whole goal was to get someone that can really take their utilities and run it for a long time. That makes whoever follows me in my seat more successful anyway, because that is a very difficult position. There's a lot of requirements, a lot of rules and regs that you got to follow, and I think Jeremy's going to do a great job. And
I appreciate that.
Glad to have him on board. That being said, I just wanted to congratulate Brad on almost 40 years of service for our community. That is he's a tremendous asset to our community. I know he's helped Rushville on their utilities. He's helped Everton, Glenwood, Milton. He's always willing to jump in and help. He's got the expertise, and he's fabulous at it. He's been a great asset to me, I can tell you that. So if you see Brad out, congratulate him. He's not done yet. He's got a couple more weeks.
August 1st, yeah. Through July 31st.
July 31st, a couple more weeks. But I want to personally say thank you, Brad. I mean, you've been a great member of my team, and I appreciate it. And Jeremy, looking forward to having you on board.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your guys' time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Powell.
For the month of June, we had 7 hours, 51 minutes of meetings and original production, almost exactly the same. I kind of added a little bit extra to the report this time with Facebook analytics, but for YouTube analytics, 6,798 views of 872 hours and 3,630 subscribers. Top content, CHS graduation, the National Day of Prayer, and the City Council meeting on June 3rd. Analytics, I brought up TV3 Facebook analytics as well as city Facebook analytics, and you'll see that the city's impressions, 21,300 for the month. That's really fantastic, with 5,753 followers, so we're reaching everybody pretty well.
So you're going to have to define impression, because a lot of people don't know what that means.
That means they see it.
They see it.
It's as they scroll through, they're pausing long enough to notice it.
And it counts it.
Yes. Any questions?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Hardin.
Good evening. I just have a copy of the June 2024 report.
We responded to 362 calls for service. So if you notice on my charts, there's one that is a 13-month revolving chart. That's our busiest month in the last 13 months. So we've had some very, very busy shifts. We've either tied or broken 2 shift records during the month of June. So it brings our total to 2,031. So we're on track to surpass 4,000 calls this year. You can see our fuel usage and the fuel tax rebate that was submitted. Been on my list for quite a while to work on our parking lot, to get it crack filled and sealed. The street department filled last year, but there were such big cracks and it was let go for so long, even before we had possession of the building. We had to basically go through and do it again. It would just suck that stuff clear down. So looks really good. Very, very pleased with that. We had a 2-day in-service with Stat Flight, Air Medical on some new airway devices, techniques. Always coming out with new, better stuff, and sometimes we've got to reach out to those guys. They're really experts on a lot of this stuff, cutting-edge stuff. We did a test check for Creative Steps Preschool, the Walmart Riley fundraiser. We've been doing planning for the active assailant training and also for the fair. And there at the end it says about our shift records. Board of Works, I asked for permission to remount a box of one of our ambulances that was involved in the wreck. The chassis took 99.9% of it. The box was still good, so we're going to put a new chassis under that box, which that's meant to do. That's what they're designed for. They're designed to be remounted. That box is designed to be remounted 3 to 4 times. With the age of the truck and the mileage, it just did not make sense to repair that. So we're in the process of getting that done currently. So hopefully we'll have that back in short order. So, does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. Okay, moving on to old business. Anyone have any old business? Miscellaneous business? I've got a couple things. Just remember Jean Lysing in your prayers. Her husband passed away, as you heard. You prayed for him, the family here before the meeting. The viewing is Thursday. The funeral, I believe, is Friday. But Jean's been great to our community. She's been a public servant for a long time, state legislator. I just appreciate her service and just want to give her thoughts and prayers to her family. I do have one topic of discussion. We talked about the Board of Works. It's really a council decision, but I wanted to get some input from the Board of Works on the operational side as well. We've said for a long time we have multiple problems with our stoplights. They're very expensive, about $250,000 an intersection to replace. And we do have another one that went down. John, I'm getting a little bit of an echo, by the way. So 8th Street and Central went down. And I was talking to Derek works for the state, and he does all their traffic signals, and he does our maintenance on the side. Saves us a bunch of money versus bringing a traffic signal company down. He's very good at it. He's from Connersville. The light, the concrete post, we don't know if it was hit or just fell over, but the base was completely rotten. That's how old it is. And moisture had gotten in there because of that base being rotten and really just messed up all the electrical. You cannot get components for that light anymore, anywhere. They've been looking, they can't find anything. So he put it in 4-way flash. He didn't know if he was going to be able to get to go into flash. He did get to go into flash. I don't know how long it'll stay that way, but it's in flash right now. We've got a 4-way stop out there. His recommendation, and really I agree with it, is there's no need for a stoplight there. The 4-way on 9th Street is working fantastic. Traffic doesn't get backed up. It moves a lot better. And his recommendation was to do something similar to that, either 2 or 4-way. He said it didn't matter. Board of Works, I know, recommended 4-way, just because people come down off 8th Street by the post office being so busy. And that was his recommendation. So it's really a council decision what you want to do with that. I can't justify spending money for a street light there if it's not needed, or a stoplight there if it's not needed. And Ninth's a perfect example, it's working great. My recommendation is make it a four-way, is what I would recommend. In all reality, just be planning for the future, because all of our lights are about the same age. We've got several with issues, he's constantly going out and having to reset them. If it's a need in a place where it justify it, then that's different, but we just don't see the need here, based on the traffic. So I just need some thoughts and input from council so we can get a direction for this, so I can either get signs purchased or do whatever. Fortunately, Brian Daub asked about like the flashing lights we put on Western. Those were, I think it was about $8,000, I don't remember, for those lights, but we did that because the light was there, got knocked over, and there's literally nothing there. We wanted that to capture people's attention. Anytime you make a major change in an intersection, change is hard. The lights are already in flash, so we feel we can just do the stop signs like we got there, let them flash for so long, and then we have to have a company come take them down, because we can't take them down ourselves. We don't have the equipment to do that. So my recommendation is let's go ahead and put the stop signs up, make it a four-way stop, and then over time, we'll eventually get the light poles down, once we feel people are comfortable. Then it's a four-way stop now. But that's my recommendation, but I just need some thought and direction from you guys, so I will have to draft an ordinance, changing that as a stoplight to a four-way stop. It's no big deal, but just need some thoughts on that and direction.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I travel the road every day a lot, and it hasn't bothered me at all.
I've never had a close call there. As a matter of fact, a lot of people will actually wave you on. They're very patient. Most of them. I mean, you'll get a few, but everybody's been very cooperative. It's worked out.
Well, I don't hear anything other, so I'm assuming a four-way.
Do you need a motion, or?
I agree with
No, I have to draft an
That's
ordinance
what, yeah,
for it.
that's what I was thinking.
I agree with
Four-way.
Yeah.
Four-way.
Yes.
My only concern is because you have 8th Street Hill coming down there, so the neighborhoods that live up on the hill are more likely to use 8th Street and shoot all the way across. And so my only concern is any backing up of traffic, if you have a lot of traffic coming down, because we have the two lights right there at West, Western, and Western.
There's two lights there.
That splits, and then I just wouldn't want it to get backed up. But I also don't go through there every day, so I don't know how much the traffic flow is.
Well, four-way is gonna be faster than a
Yeah.
stoplight.
Yeah.
I mean, if you sit out here, even on Fifth and Central, traffic's backed up and there's no one going. They have to sit there and wait. So,
Yeah.
and if someone's turning, then they have to sit there through a couple lights. I think this is, and even at 9th Street, you don't see traffic backing up there. I mean, Clint, you guys go through it all the time with Amos, and there's never traffic's there anymore, right?
No, I come through there every time I come to City Hall, and I think it goes a lot better with it being a four-way stop
Yeah.
right there. So.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about it backing up east to west than the north to south, but, I mean, I'm okay with a four-way, but I just think we should keep an eye on it as well. And
We will.
make sure that it's working.
That's one of the reasons, because we thought about making it a two-way, but one of the reasons a four-way was that it would be faster if it was a four-way for
Yeah.
cross traffic.
I never see that much traffic, and I'm there all the time.
I was gonna say, we live right there, so you would
Yeah,
know.
I usually don't have to wait even for the stop sign, or the stoplight. I usually get right up to it.
Well, Jeff, we'll get an ordinance drafted up to make that change.
Sure.
We'll present it at the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that conversation. Is there any miscellaneous business? Seemed like there was something should wrote down. Okay, any more from the public out there? Find your chance. All right. I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Have a good evening.